Welcome to the Homes Podcast. This is Maurice Brown III with the City of Schenectady. And today we have our official host here. Will you introduce yourself for us?
Yeah. Hi, guys. I am Khadijah Johnson with Hunt Real Estate, a local real estate agent.
Awesome. And we have two guests with us today who actually are representing the City of Schenectady's lead program. If you want to introduce yourselves, we can get started.
Yes, great. I'm Laura Scanapico. So I am the program manager for the Lead Safe Housing Program for the City of Schenectady.
Awesome.
Hi, my name's Heidi Pashley. I work for the City of Schenectady Department of Development, and I am the risk assessor, lead inspector for the lead paint housing program.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know we kind of want to get into it and kind of just get a better understanding of what the program is and how you came to work with it. So I guess first, if you could tell us a little bit about yourselves. So Laura, you are partnered with the program through the county health department, is that correct?
Yes, yeah. So I am a full-time county health department employee. I've been there for just over 8 years. In the City of Schenectady, and then about 2 years or so ago, I took over as program manager for the program.
Very nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Now, what is your official employee title at the county?
So at the county, I'm a senior sanitarian there. Previously, I would do various things, but I've taken over that role.
Forgive me, I don't know what a sanitarian
Oh,
is.
I say, okay, so in
What-
general, our office does inspections and regulations of certain facilities that are regulated by New York State. So that would be hotels, motels, swimming pools, children's camps, restaurants. So I was like a food inspector, health inspector, pretty much. Just
Okay.
that title just relates to maybe like the tier that you are in the office. So
Oh,
Okay.
okay, cool. I understand.
yeah.
And Heidi, you've been with the city for quite some time too, right?
18 years.
Okay. So how does one become a risk assessor, lead inspector? Is that
So there are classes you have to take. It's a week long. There's a test at the end. If you pass that, you can go ahead and take a state test. And you have 6 months to take that, and it is not easy.
I was going to ask that.
No.
It's very hard. But once you pass the state test, you are a certified lead inspector, risk
Okay.
assessor.
All right, cool. A lot of our guests sometimes have interesting careers to me, so I'm always curious as to how they got there,
Yeah.
type of thing too.
Yeah.
Especially because you deal with the youth a lot, and I know they're
Yep.
always asking about what different careers
Yep.
with your program too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I pretty much do the same thing. I like to tell, so I run a business called Okay, Let's Talk, in which I teach the youth about real estate. So I teach them also about all the different careers, and we go into hey, if you want to be a home inspector, if you want to be an appraiser, this is the studies, this is what you need to go through, the type of schooling that you need to go through in order to get there. So I think that was a really great question in case someone is hey, that sounds interesting. What is that process? How can I do what she does? So, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the lead program? What is it? What's it for? Who it helps?
Of course, yes. So it's federal funds that are granted to the city to assist in homeowners who are interested in remediating lead hazards in their home. And so we do that through a few different means. We can replace old wooden windows that have been painted with lead, replace doors. We do some paint stabilization inside homes, which is just making sure there's no chipping and peeling paint. And so basically we're facilitating that whole process for a homeowner who might have difficulty navigating that. So we will do lead inspections of the home or hire a third-party company to do that. Heidi writes up a scope of work based off of all those readings, and then we talk with the homeowner about that, and we put it out to bid for them. We find contractors who are approved EPA certified contractors for it. And so we're kind of facilitating the whole process for the homeowner, and then also providing funds to do that work.
That's amazing.
You know,
I think that is a huge help, definitely for first-time home buyers that just have no idea where to start, what to do, who do they talk to, right? Like, is there a certain contractor that does this work? Could they just call a handyman to do the work? So the fact that they can reach out to you guys and kind of create that partnership, and you guys kind of like take over and be the point person to help them navigate through that, I think that's awesome. And I'm so glad that you guys are here, because I feel like not many people know about that type of resource. So shout out to you guys for doing it. And I hope, if not other counties are doing the same thing, I hope that they're listening to this.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
No, there
it's-
are other counties that do it. And I don't think it's out there as much as it should be, although we do, we show up at all of the like health fairs and stuff like that, and we try to talk to as many people as we can about it, but I still feel like it's not out there as much as it should be.
Yeah, so hopefully this gets more publicity for the program, gets people interested. Like the demographic is that we're typically trying to do rental properties, really. We do help with single family homes, vacant properties, but the goal of the program is to help low income tenants, especially those with families who are most at risk for lead poisoning. So yeah, it's a great resource for landlords too, who might just need assistance with that process, you know, not necessarily that they live there.
Okay.
But there's a few different options for them.
Okay.
So, who is most at risk when it comes to lead?
So it would be children, really under the age of 6, based off of their habits that they have, the height that they're at. They're crawling around on the floor. They are putting a lot of things in their mouth. And so they tend to be the more at-risk population, especially if there's like chipping and peeling paint and there's paint chips on the floor or lead dust on the floor that gets on toys that then go in their mouth. So, but anybody can, you know, be exposed to lead and have high blood lead levels as a result, with some potential health side effects. Yeah.
No, I think a lot of people don't inherently know, like, how do they know that there's lead in their property? What is like why would I do that? Why would I even go through the extra effort of reaching out or be able to identify that as a risk?
I find that most people find out when their child is tested at the doctors, because I believe they get tested at age 1 and age 2.
Yeah, so by New York state law, they should
Yeah.
be tested.
So most people find out through that because their blood levels are elevated. So, and most people move into properties, they really don't think about lead paint hazards,
Yeah.
because it's been so long since we've used lead paint.
Right.
But there are hazards. Many of these houses in Schenectady are old. They do have the old wood windows, so when you're opening them and closing them, you're creating lead dust from the paint.
I did not know that.
Yes, and
Yeah.
lead dust is heavy, so it settles on the floor. It settles on anything that's, you know, horizontal. So the children are, you know, crawling around, touching things, putting their
Wow.
hands in their mouth, and that's how they're getting poisoned.
And if you think about it too, a smaller amount of lead dust or even lead paint chips is needed because their bodies are so much smaller versus like an adult.
So if
and
I had a little lead in my Kool-Aid, I'd be.
you might be fine.
I
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but-
It's actually sweet, so you know you might like it. It'll make it a little bit better.
Oh, funny fact. They used to sweeten wine with lead.
No, they used to put it in lead containers.
carafe. Yeah.
Oh, the container was
Oh.
lead.
Yes.
And that's what made it sweeter.
Yes.
Was it
Oh.
lead glass or crystal, or was it just a?
I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, no, I was going on a YouTube dive once, and
Uh-huh.
that came up, and I was like, huh.
There's lead in so many things, and the hard thing is that it's like an invisible poison in a way where you don't even know it's there. Dust you can't see, paint on the walls, it's everywhere. You're not really thinking about it. So that's like the danger of it, is that it's something that can be everywhere, but it's undetectable. And if you have a high blood lead level, like some children do, you might not present symptoms or have any type of behavioral or mental delays until sometime down the line. So it's one of those things that even if a child has a high level, sometimes when you're reaching out to families and trying to talk with it, it's hard to relate to, it's hard to really grasp that, because it's not like, I'm trying to think of something that I could relate it to, but you know, it's hard to see.
It's a poison, but your kid's not throwing up from it, right? So they're not necessarily immediately reacting to something for you to always like recognize that behavior if you're not looking for it.
There is, if you have like significant, you're gonna have some severe immediate issues if it's significant amounts, like if they're eating lots and lots of paint chips. But in general, like through lead dust exposure, like Heidi said, from opening and closing windows, or just the breakdown of paint, yeah, that's like a little bit more of a slow presentation, I would say.
Okay. And did you say it could create developmental issues?
Yeah, I mean, the research for lead side effects and health conditions that are brought on to having a high lead exposure, I think are constantly ongoing. They're finding that so many different parts of the body can be affected by lead, but there's not as many studies on that. I think that the way that it's stored in your body is that it can be present in your body for a significant amount of time after your initial exposure, and so the slow release of that back into your body from where it's stored in your bones can they're ongoing and studying it, you know, because they're discovering a lot.
No, we do plan on having, I think the county health department also has a CLIP program, I think it's called.
Yeah, a CLIP program is where, so when children are tested at 1 and 2, as Heidi was saying, those lead results are reported to the local health department. So I'm a local health department employee contracted to work with the city of Schenectady and the grant. So we get manually or mandatedly reported the results for all children who are tested for blood lead level in our county. And so when that happens, high levels are flagged, and then we have a CLIP program, as Maurice said, that does some intervention with families to try to talk with them about what the high lead level means, provide resources like local resources that we have, provide education. It's like we are supplemental to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
We also are in conversations and close communication with our local doctor's offices and facilities to help guide them, because they tend to follow New York State guidelines when it comes to how often they should be retested. So if you have a high blood lead level, they have to be followed for some time until their level goes back down. So we're in close communication with healthcare facilities and then the family. So it's like we have caseworkers who follow them.
Okay. So there's a decent amount of infrastructure on, you know, addressing the problem after the fact. But what it sounds like, it's really important to have like preventative measure.
Yeah, so get the word out about prevention and just general education on that.
I also want to bring up that it's not just in lead paint. Lead's not just in paint. I mean, it's been found in spices. It's been found with silverware, plates, you know, stuff like that, water. So it's not just there's been spices that have been manufactured overseas that have been brought in that are also poisoning some kids. So when you sell a spice, or food, you sell it by weight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lead's heavy.
Oh, wow.
So it's been known to be put in spices, and people are just using these spices and they're not realizing, why is my child, you know, poisoned? And they're not. So it's in a lot of things, not just paint.
And again, undetectable to the naked eye.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd never even thought about that, actually.
Oh, yeah. My mind is blown.
There's often recalls on certain products, and there's been some like independent testing on maybe like cinnamon spices, turmeric, and their current lead levels, like of local brands that are sold. There's some independent testing of them that they post on a website, which I can't remember, but that would have been a good plug.
No, definitely. And when we have you guys back for the CLIP program specifically, because we want to know more about that, I've heard about different new rules that are coming out statewide for lead, so we're definitely going to have other people from your department also come in about that too, because it is important, right? Because like, how else are we going to protect our children? ultimately.
Because
Yeah.
the new laws are going to affect every homeowner.
So it's definitely an episode to keep an eye out for too, guys, which should be coming up relatively soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you guys. So, you said it sounds like maybe either the landlord or the tenant can reach out to you guys for help, or is it just the owner that can reach out to you guys? Like, what does that process look like?
I would encourage anyone.
Okay.
I would say the process really has to be initiated by the homeowner because they're the ones, it's their property. They have to be the one to sign off and go through the program. But when we do health fairs, a lot of the times we're talking with tenants,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that are going to these things. And
Right.
so, providing that education to them, maybe a little bit generally about lead.
Yes.
And then about the program as a resource. And maybe they can take that, talk to their landlord and show interest. A huge barrier for landlords for this program is that it's hard to sometimes get a tenant to comply because they have a responsibility in applying as well. They have to fill out an application and submit documents, and so maybe sometimes getting that information from not their landlord, like their introduction to the program through tabling events, things like that, it might make them feel more reassured to, in general, go ahead and apply for the program with their landlord.
Okay.
No, I have had phone calls when I'm in City Hall. Like, I get a lot of random phone calls, and I've had tenants call me before, and they're like, "My landlord is asking for my personal information. He says it's for an application. Is that true?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I was like, "What program is he talking about?" Right. So then I'll do a quick Google search. I'll look at whatever resources I have, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. So it sounds like he's applying for this particular program." I said, "But if you're not comfortable, how about we get you in contact with someone from that program first?
Right.
Maybe you don't want to give your documents directly to your landlord, then you can give it directly to the program itself, right?"
Absolutely.
And I know, Heidi, you deal with a lot of different families in different stages, and you go into their homes and you're kind of educating them as you're there too. It's super impactful, just the value that having a person going there,
Yeah.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
explaining it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean Heidi's role is vital. She's some of the first face, like the first face that represents the office that she gets to meet, sit down, talk with them, go in their house, introduce themselves, and
Yeah,
I
and
mean
a lot of the
killer.
tenants
She is so
just-
killer at it. She's great.
A lot of the tenants fill out the paperwork but aren't really educated on why they're filling out the paperwork. So I try to educate them when I go there
Yeah.
and let them know this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, So
And I think it's helpful, especially because you happen to be a Schenectady native, and I feel like that's almost it helps disarm the tension between that landlord and that tenant sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like when you're getting like third party information from somebody, I think it could feel like almost a bullying kind of situation. And then you're like, why should I do that? Or because it's you and I already don't have a good relationship with you as
Right.
my landlord,
Right.
I don't want to do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's definitely important too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a heavy subject, I'd say, in general. But I think it's something important that everybody should be aware of.
Agreed.
anything that affects children and their health is a heavy subject, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that a lot of parents understand that your child can be poisoned, you know,
The full impact.
the full impact of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's definitely something I'd say, that needs to be put out there more. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you have a child too, right? So, like, I know this hits a little more home for you. I don't have
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
So,
I'm running my house through my head, like,
where can things?
Yeah, like where is it like obvious to me? And like, being in real estate, like I have like a little bit of like an eye for it. Like I can see, like I know like the chip paint and stuff like that. So I'm literally sitting here with you guys. I'm going through my head. I'm like, okay, the outside of my house, the front of my house, the back of my house. What does that look like? My windows. What type of windows do I have? Like I'm literally going through it.
Yes.
And you said cinnamon and turmeric, and I was like, okay, is that in my cabinet? Like I'm literally
Yes, there we
thinking
go.
about it.
Well, it's funny because when I got into this, I never really, I grew up with lead paint, from the 70s, and it was never discussed. It was never an issue. And when I got into this and I went to all the classes and I learned all the stuff, and I was like, oh my God, all those home projects that I did around my children in old homes, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could have poisoned them. I could have poisoned myself. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it's not something you really think about.
It is. And I'm very grateful for this conversation, because even in real estate, like, we have a lead-based paint disclosure form.
Not everybody is honest with that.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. But I also feel like obviously, like, I go through it with all of my clients, but I feel like I'm going to put a lot more emphasis on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to
Absolutely.
spend a few more seconds on that disclosure form because of this conversation. So I'm very grateful, and I'm like thinking about it in my head. But you're right. Like, even like, you know, there's a seller's part on top, and then there's a buyer's part on top, and every single time the sellers are like, I have no information about lead-based paint.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. Like, you can't really truly go by it 100%. So
Right.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so you mentioned the 70s. So I think it was in the 70s when they finally stopped using lead paint, right? So essentially,
1978, yes.
so anybody who has a house that's built before then, there's a high potential of.
Correct, because how many people do you know, if you want to paint a room or paint windows, you strip all of the paint off the walls or the windows before you paint? You don't.
Oh,
You just
that's
paint
true.
over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah, I remember my dad definitely.
yes. And paint wears
just
down.
painting over stuff.
So
yeah.
at some point, I don't care if there's 5 layers on there, it's gonna wear down, and it's gonna at some point affect the lead paint.
Wow.
Yeah. So when that happens, if you think about that happening for our audience, I would say definitely reach out, right?
Yes.
Because if through the program we go out there and there isn't any lead paint, that's no
great.
expense for them, right? They're just like, okay, great.
No, and honestly, that really doesn't happen in our area. For the houses built pre 1978, it's rare.
Very rare.
And the thing to the distinction that is important to people, because we want people to be aware and be educated and be empowered to make the decisions that are best for their family. But I also don't want people to be overly concerned or overly scared, because there's a difference between having lead present, like in your house, and then it actually becoming a hazard. So when it's intact, it's painted on the wall and it's intact, yes, you have lead paint there and you should know about it, especially if, say, you buy a house and you get the lead disclosure letter and you go, okay, I know that I have paint, and they should be providing information as to like where the lead is. So I know that I have lead paint on some of these walls, but if I can maintain it and I can keep it intact, there's no hazard there. It's really a hazard when things start to fall apart, they're not maintained, the dust is being formed from it, you know, the paint chips falling apart and breaking down. So, you know, it's perfectly fine to live in a house that has lead paint as long as you're aware. And so, like, education is a huge piece of it. So for a lot of these houses that come through, we replace their windows, we replace some of their doors, but we're not stripping the paint off the walls inside. If they have painted shingles on the outside of their house and we cover them with vinyl siding, you know, the lead is still there. So it's a lead safe home, but it's not lead free. But it's all about people remembering and trying to take the time to maintain your house, because it's hard to do. You have so many other priorities and other things. You might have a lot of properties, but the maintenance is a huge key to it.
Also, when we go out, we have a company that goes out and tests every painted surface in the house, interior and exterior. And when we are done with our program, the owner gets a copy of that. So if down the road he needs to do work, say in a bathroom or in a bedroom, and he wants to rehab it, he's going to know, okay, this wall or this whole room contains lead paint. So I have to take precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess that's the biggest thing, is that by being educated, by having access to the information, now you can engage in those preventative measures, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being like, oh my goodness, that might be lead. I don't know. Like.
No, but you know what? Even if you treat every surface as lead and you just keep it all intact, that might be the approach.
And clean,
you know?
clean, clean.
Clean, exactly. And the
Yes.
best way to clean.
Yes.
Listen, I went
Wet
to
wiping.
I was
my
waiting for
cousin's
that.
house.
I'm like, what is it?
Yes.
What's the trick?
Yeah.
Just like wet paper towel, you know, certain like heavy duty wet wipes, like ideally disposable, but something wet that you can just wipe it up in a way where you're kind of like scooping it up and then disposing of it, you know,
Okay.
versus like dusting it. You're just putting it back in the air. It's going to settle in a different spot.
But I guess that's also
Okay.
why you have to use contractors who are educated and have those certifications, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really impactful, and I do think that because we're in New York State and then we're in upstate New York, so most of the houses are 100 years old.
Well, anybody doing contracting or anybody pulling a permit to do any contracting, regardless it be on their own house or somebody else's house, they are supposed to have an RRP, which is
Rehab,
remodel, paint. It's
Okay.
yeah,
We
it's a
coulda looked
one-day
that up
course.
before.
It's a one-day course,
RRP.
Okay.
and it is free.
Oh.
They do
Yeah.
offer it free.
Where do you
Cornell-
get it for
Cornell,
free?
Cornell
Cooperative.
Cooperative
Yes.
Extension, yeah.
Oh, they're right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they have it in a few different locations.
Yes, they do.
They go up to Amsterdam, Schenectady. They have them in Albany, so it's
So EPA law states that anybody who does any contracting
Should have.
should have the RRP. Yes.
And that's like the bare minimum. You
Bare
need
minimum.
to have that.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So the
wow.
there's like RRP training, which is more general for contractors, homeowners who just want a baseline, like you said, foundational understanding of if I break open this wall, there could be lead on it. I don't know what type of precautions should I take for me and my family or the people that live here. Whereas the contractors that we work with are EPA abatement certified, and so it's a higher level in a way certification where the expectation of that is that we are fully removing lead. Our purpose is to remediate the lead, whereas RRP, the purpose is for rehab. But now I have some understanding of some of the precautions I might have to take in case I'm exposed to lead. So two different trainings, but the RRP is good for anyone should
Anyone.
take that.
Yes.
Okay. And it's
Great.
free. So why
Like
not?
even
it's
as a
free.
realtor, you could take it.
Yeah.
You could always advise like homeowners.
Yeah.
It's nice for people to feel empowered to have that information, you know.
Yeah, that's great. And again, can you guys restate like where you can get that?
Cornell Cooperative Extension puts on classes. I believe they do a couple a month.
Yeah, they do a few monthly in a few different locations.
Yeah.
It's the Albany office that hosts it.
Yeah.
Can we like put a link
Yeah,
somewhere?
yeah, for that, yeah.
But definitely, and it's a great resource for people.
Yeah. So Cornell Cooperative Extension, they have an Albany office. I know they have a Schenectady office. I think they have one in Troy too, if I'm not mistaken. But we would definitely put that link also for when we air the episode too, just so people just trying to get a baseline understanding of it. If you're a tenant, if you're a homeowner, if
Yeah.
you're a contractor, if you just like making stuff and cutting into your own walls and doing whatever you want to do, just at minimum, please get that level of education too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, I don't want to keep you guys here like forever, right? Because I know we're running out of time here too. But is there anything else that you would want to share with us about ways or education materials where people can find it, or how do people get in contact with you guys? If I'm like, I want to talk to Laura because Laura's awesome. Is there like should I call a certain office, because then I at least get pointed in the right direction?
So you can reach out to the Schenectady County Health Department is the office that I work at. And we do generally all the intake, all the applications. We do the initial reach out with homeowners, tenants, etc. And then once you're through the program and you're going through it, Heidi's really the main contact. You can definitely reach out to Heidi over at the city.
I'm
as
in
well.
City Hall, room 206, Department of Development.
Okay, awesome.
So-
And I think it's also a page on the city's website too. So
There is cityofschenectady.com under the homes page.
Okay, awesome.
Applications are right on there. You can print them out, fill them out, bring them into me.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
awesome.
perfect.
All right, thank you guys so much for your time. Did you have anything?
No, I'm good. I'm so grateful for this. Thank you guys for coming
thank you
and
for
all the
having us.
information. And we really appreciate it.
All right, awesome.
Aw,
Looking
thank you.
forward to the part 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
We gotta find out about those laws that'll be
Yes,
changing.
the new laws
Yeah,
in November.
rental registry,
Yeah.
get ready.
Oh,
All
wow.
right,
Yes.
yeah. So we'll have that on the follow-up episode as well. Thank you guys so much for your time. And those who are listening, thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to reach out, comment, subscribe, so that we can keep providing you even more quality information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.